Well, this is the time of year during the winter season where we hear tragic stories of people who become stuck and stranded in snowy weather, leave their vehicles and become lost or disoriented, often with very poor outcomes. And so we like to remind the public that during the season where the winter weather is in effect, that we prepare for it by having an emergency kit in our car and preparing for when we're going to be traveling during the snowy and wintry weather. We recommend that people prepare their car first and foremost, that they have good snow tires on their car, that they've looked at the weather ahead of time and the road conditions, that they have a shovel in their car and are prepared to go out, especially if you're traveling in the rural portions of Utah. We also recommend that everybody have a good emergency survival kit in their car, to include things like a blanket that you can use to stay warm if you do become stuck or stranded, a good pair of hat and gloves that aren't the pair you normally carry with you, that are in a box in the car, and then some type of food source. Granola bars, things that are non-perishable that you can keep in your emergency kit are great to have on hand should you need them. Of course, the shovel goes without saying, is a good thing to have as well. And then a flashlight with some extra batteries to have on hand is always helpful. So those are things that we should all pre-prepared have in our car, especially if we're doing travel. It's most important when we're traveling on the rural roads in Utah. If you do become stuck or stranded, I think the most important advice is to stay with your car and not to go out and try and seek help on your own. You're much more likely to be found alongside a roadway in your stranded car than you are if you're off on your own. You've got a warm environment that's dry, you're not exposed to the elements, so it's hard to be patient, but it's important to wait for help to arrive. You can run your engine every 10 minutes or 10 minutes at a time, once an hour, to kind of keep the car warm until help arrives. So those are some tips that we have. Unfortunately, we do see hypothermia during this winter season. It's rare to see somebody stranded, but it happens, and so it's always good to be prepared ahead of time.